YouTube. Do I really need to say much? 6 months without getting a haircut will make you look like this. Listen guys, I didn't even include the consultation here. We're doing a number 4 open on top. He's definitely getting a little light up there, but the cut is gonna come out fire. Just hold off to the end. We're gonna bless my man. It's gonna be the biggest before and after I've had on my channel. My man is gonna go from looking homeless and lost to looking like he could pull something. So anyways, we did a number 4 open on the top. We're now doing a three right up to the top of the side of his head. And all we're pretty much doing is debulking, fading down. So we got our 2 open, 2 closed. And when we get to that 2 closed, it's gonna get easier to fade. And I chose to use the number 2 to debulk everything because I just felt like it's probably gonna be the darkest or the longest length on the side. It didn't really look that much lighter than like a number 3, for example. So number 2 closed, debulked everything, and now we're gonna go ahead and start to bald him out. Now usually I won't go less than a 3, but because he's thinning up there, thinning up top, that number 2 I felt like was perfect for the side to be, for the highest gradients, so that it doesn't make the top look that much lighter. You know what I mean? Like if we would have went 4 open on top and then 4 on the sides, the 4 on the sides was gonna look way darker. So at this point, we're just going ahead and blending out the first section that we created with our blade open by going clipper close and opening it little by little until this section is faded out. So you can see I went closed and then about a quarter of the way open, then halfway open. And by the time you're all the way open again, it should be completely blended out. In subsections, you're gonna have to close it a little bit just because it's darker in some areas in that section. All right, next step, I'm gonna do my 1.5 guard all the way open. And the reason why I went to the 1.5 guard all the way open is because remember, we left off with a number 2 in this area. So this 1.5 guard is going to blend right into that number 2, and right away we went halfway open and then close to debulk this area, soften it up, and get ready to blend out that line that's in the middle of the side of his head. Now for whatever reason you might leave a line or something like that, you could just hop to that number 2 guard and take it out. So this half guard all the way open, or number 0 if you're using Andis, this is gonna start to really bring the fade together. By the time you're almost closed with this half guard, you should be completely blended. And then you're pretty much just left off with detailing. And the half guard is kind of like it's like one of the best guards ever invented. I can't believe it's one of the newer guards. If you notice with your packaging, when you get a clipper, they're packaged separately. Like that thing is an X factor. You don't always need it, depending on how your setup is, but it's an X factor, man. All right, so that thing is looking pretty blurry. We're gonna go ahead and start to completely take out the bottom, get it ready for the shaver. Oh yeah, it's looking blurry. Wait till we put the line on him. Wait till we clean up the beard, and we're gonna enhance the cut. We're gonna take it to the next level. All right, so for the beard, all I really wanted to do was tighten it up on the sides a little bit, give him more of a chiseled look, and just fade the sideburn area into the sides. And here we are, we're gonna go ahead and we went ahead and lowered it a little bit there on the side of the beard. All right, so now we can go ahead and start to line him up. And again, he is thinning on the sides, but we're gonna try to give him as crispy a lineup as possible. So regardless if he has color or not, the haircut's gonna look like a high quality cut.
Tito, let's get it.
This 4.5 on top just gave it enough length to where some of the hair would be able to, that length would be able to make it a little darker on top. But I feel like if you went down to a 3 or something like that, it just wouldn't be long enough to make it look a little fuller and get this line up the way I wanted it to look. Now we're gonna do the same thing on this side of the beard. Fade it in, freehand it so it has more of a chiseled look. Especially at the bottom. Wait till I get to the bottom. We're gonna make that look a little more chiseled, and in that way, it's gonna make the beard look a little fuller, less thin, more healthy. And here we go. So where you were able to see through it, now it's looking nice and full, and it's taking shape. And I'm lining up right beneath the neckline. Alright, so what I decided to do was go ahead and clean the canvas a bit because he was sweating a little bit. The shop was hot. So I wanted to make sure I was putting the color on a clean canvas. And we're using brown black, but it's blending in pretty nicely here. So what I like to do is go ahead and spray the outline first, and then we'll comb the hair a little bit, get the hairspray on the scalp just so it looks a little bit fuller. This will wash out, especially if you scrub your hair, but nonetheless, we're gonna have them feeling like $1,000,000, feeling goated. I don't know, I don't even know how to explain it, but feeling good about himself for at least a day or two. So we're lining him up with the razor. This is where the beard really starts to take form, take shape. Guys, wait till you see the before and after. All right, and what I like to do after the color enhancement is comb the hair and look at the hairline, especially with this texture of hair, from an aerial view. That way I can catch any overlapping hairs that want to grow over the hairline. This is just more detailed work, cleaning it up with the shears, you know, like treating our clients, you know, going above and beyond for them. Look at him, he's smiling, he's happy, he loves the extra attention to detail. This is what's gonna set you apart, guys. This is definitely a market that appreciates that. There's also a market that doesn't appreciate the attention to detail. So, you know, it just depends who you want to cater to. Not everybody's gonna be your client, and you ain't gonna be everybody's barber. Guys, we're finishing this off with the shaver. Look how blurry that thing looking. Look at the before. My man was lost. I grew up with this guy, bro. I feel like I almost raised him. I taught him better than this, but look at the after. Yo, shout out to my boy, man, one of my closest friends. We go way back, you know, from elementary school, and he still comes and sees me for his cut when I was learning. I was cutting, he was coming to see me for a cut, and now we definitely blessing him. So, yo, I'll see you guys on the next video.